This is Thumper, the Shredding Hippie Surf Show, and I am so stoked today, man. I got something really bitchin' to share with you. And before I do, man, just let me, rap with you a little bit, man. If you know anything about me, the Shredding Hippie, man, you know that my deal is I'm just into surfing, man. I just love surfing and surfboards, and if that's all I had to do, man, that's what I would do, man. But I'm here because I want to help you find what I want. And that's my motto in life, man. My motto is, hey, man, focus your life helping people get what you would want for yourself, right? So that's what I'm here to do right now with you today. And that's this, man. The Shredding Hippie is launching his own surfboard label, man. And I'm only going to share surfboards with you that I would surf myself, man. Hey, let me tell you this. Listen, this wasn't my idea. I wasn't sitting around trying to say to myself, hey, man, how can I be brilliant or whatever. That wasn't what was going on, man. It was like, hey, I got frustrated because I know what kind of boards I want to surf. And if you're like me, man, maybe you're not 14 years old, maybe you're not, 95 pounds, but you're a good surfer, man. I've been surfing for over 40 years. I've watched the whole shortboard revolution. We'll talk about that another time, but man, I like to shred, and I don't like it, man, when I don't have choices in surfboards that give me what I need. So I came up with this, man. This here is the HYPNOTIC, and it's a surfboard that I have made for my own label, Shredding Hippie Surfboards, and you can have one too. And let me share with you what it is, man. This is what they would nowadays call a hybrid surfboard. But, the thing is, man, it's hard to find hybrid surfboards with single fins. Not anymore, man. That's what this one is. Check this out. So, if you were to take, if I was to talk about modern hybrid surfboards, and if you were to take the rusty Dwart and the lost Blunt and the CI Biscuit and the Haydenshapes Hypto Krypto, man, and you gave them a bunch of acid and you told them to go in a room and just like do each other, this is the board that would come out of that, man. This would be the love child of all those surfboards. But for me, man, this board came from two major inspirational sources. The first one was an old one, man. Back, listen, like people think nowadays when you talk about 70s single fin surfboards, you get this idea of those beak-nosed surfboards, right, that you see now. Well, look at this, man. You see that? That's a normal non-beaked nose. And this is almost identical to the surfboard I had growing up in the 70s. There was a guy down the street, his name was Brett Cooper, man. He was a local surfer, and he was a really bitchin' dude, man. And I went over to his house because I dug his sister, man. His little sister was hot, and I would go over and hang out with his little sister, and then, he and I would talk about surfing. And, man, he had this bitchin' surfboard, and it looked almost exactly like this, man. Except he glassed on the fin, but it was the same shape that you're looking at here. Same nose, right? The same plant shape, same tail, nice, cool, rounded tail, man. And I dug that board, man. That board would surf anything. If it was small, I could catch waves and surf it. If it was big, man, that thing could handle the big waves and rip and shred. I dug that board, man. And so, not too long ago, man, I was surfing on a Hypto Krypto, and I dug that surfboard, man. I dug the Hypto Krypto, and it reminded me of that board I had back in 1976. And I thought, hey, man, I wish that they made this with a single fin. So you know what I did, man? I did the logical thing, which was I called the Haydenshapes factory down here in El Segundo, and I said, hey, man, will you make me a Hypto Krypto and just put a single fin box in there? And the guy on the other end of the phone went, and he said, hang on, man. And he was gone for like 20 minutes. I don't know what he was doing. And then he comes back and he says, we don't do that. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, man. So listen, that's why I came up with the Shredding Hippie Surfboards surfboard label, man. But take a look at this board. This one here, this one's going to be my own personal one. This is 6'6", 21.5 by 2 7/8. And if you look, it's pretty flat, but I've got a little bit of what they call displacement in the nose, man. Some people might call it a rolled V, but that gets you in the wave. It cuts through chop. It also helps you in turns too, man. V is very underrated these days, but V is pretty bitchin' stuff. And then it comes it just almost immediately goes into a V right in here, and then goes into a double concave at the tail, man. And then here you've got, of course, your radical single fin, and you've got a quad option here for FCS compatible. This is the HYPNOTIC, man, and if you want to surf the kind of waves and surf the way I do, man, which is I like single fins and I like quads, I like them both, then get this board. I got them in multiple sizes, man, and I'll make one for you and I'll send it to you. Here's the other thing, man. You know, I was at the beach surfing and I saw this guy come out of the water and he had a McTavish Sumo. And I thought, hey man, that's a cool board. I want to know what that thing rides like. So I said, hey man, that's a cool board. I want to know how that thing rides, man. And he said, it's soft. And he looked kind of bummed. And I didn't know what he meant at first. And then he showed me right on the rail there this big gash. And he goes, that's from the leash, man. The leash, this thing is so cheaply made, the leash just cut right through there. Well, hey, let me tell you something. This is made in the good old US of A, right here in Southern California, 100% made in the USA. You're not going to get some cheap pop-out from Thailand or China, man. We make them here in the US, where surfing started. By the way, did you know that the first surfer that ever surfed outside of Hawaii was right down here in Redondo Beach, man? Made in almost exactly that same spot is where I make these boards. A polyester board, man, because why? Because polyester fiberglass, because man, that's you know, you can't find that feeling quite anywhere else, man. They're durable, they last a long time, and waves dig them, man. Anyway, so this is the Shredding Hippie Surfboard label, the first one. There's going to be more coming, but this one is the HYPNOTIC, man. Get it. You'll be stoked.